Well, hello there, everybody. It is hump day. It says you're live, dude. And let me just make sure everything is a-okay. Because sometimes they can, you forget a few things. So all aboard. Let's get this thing rolling. And let's see. It says, Steiger, you're live there, dude. All right. Well, then I feel alive. Do y'all feel alive? What's up, everybody? David Combs, I saw that comment. That's funny. Austin Space, hello. Joyce Marie, and let's see, Deborah Regina, Jackie, how are you doing? About going to talk about you. Paradox Fossils, how are you, Rob? Good to see you. So, hey, just speaking the favor thing all over us, nothing missing, nothing broken. Be of service to others. And hey, if it is a cycle, then you've sown some great seeds. That's all I got to say. And happy birthday, anniversary if you got one, and we be prospering. So, what's up? Hey, Odin, what good to see you. And Planetary Protector, hello, good afternoon to you. John Price, it is high noon. Yeah, at least here in this world, although I'm still catching up, as they would say. Susan, what's up? Good to see you, go. So, boy, a lot to talk about. This is getting fun, and particularly I love this time of year, where the colors are coming out. It's fall and, damn right cold, a little early for that, but that's cool. I mean, it's no different than when it's really hot. But yeah, and, we're coming up on All Hallows Eve, and you can't escape it. It's everywhere. Well, now they're bringing in Christmas, so shows you that time is merely relevant. But in any case, it's always interesting because we love, as a species, horror stories, spooky stories, things that, make us afraid and scare us and give us a jolt. It's, intoxicating. We love that feeling. Oh, they scare the crap out of you, but you know what? You love it. I don't like that. Yeah, well, think about it. So hello, Linda, how are you doing? OB, good to see you as well. Taking two babies. Okay, Truth Seeker, good to see you. Robert Garcia, greetings. Play Misty for me. That was a good one. Good one for Clint Eastwood. I really enjoyed that. So Jackie sent me a thing on acorns. Here are some of ours. I mean, I got handful, buckets full of them. And I thought, as he puts them all down, that I would share with y'all what she sent me, because I thought this was really cool. And thank you, Jackie. So acorns, dig this, folks. Acorn magic. Between midsummer and throughout autumn, a dried acorn worn as an amulet around the neck brings a youthful glow, good luck, and protection. If gathered on a full moon, they are said to attract fairies, welcoming enchantment throughout the following month. Oh, that's just freaking cool. They promote wisdom and prosperity if placed near a window. When carried in a pocket, acorns banish illness and loneliness. I mean, far out. Now, Trina, and I have it over here somewhere, but she sent me one of hers, which was a smaller one. These are much larger, but it's still cool. Let's go to the next one. Acorns are a symbol of security and abundance. Folklore has it that carrying an acorn will bring forth a long and healthy life, luck, protection, and ward off illness. Wow. I love this group. I mean, this is Gnosis. And man, I got them by the bushel full out there. So, Yeah. Walked right into it, didn't I? And who else did I ever hear that from? The birthday girl gift. Yeah, I'm gonna have Josh back on. Mm-hmm. Acorns, here again, placed on window sills, protect the home from lightning. When the moon is full, an acorn placed on the windowsill will draw money to you. Planting one under the light of the moon will bring luck and prosperity to you and your home. I got like, I think with no exaggeration, thousands of them. Far out. That's all I got to say. Thank you, Jackie. Much love to you, darling, for sending that. This and let go another one. Cleansing oak bath spell. On the night of the new moon, gather oak leaves, oak moss oil, and one perfect acorn. So, trying to figure out what is the most perfect acorn, and I guess it's one without blemish, right? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I never even heard of oak moss oil. See, we're learning something all the time. Fill your bathtub with warm water and put the oak leaves and a few drops of the oil into the water. Hold the acorn in your hand and say these words: seed and leaf of magic oak, in enchantment I shall soak, soul and spirit to purify until my body is sanctified. I love this. Immerse yourself in the warm water, hold the acorn, and spend some time considering the oak tree. I tell you, they're magnificent spirit beings. Yeah. Goes on to say, we see the massive trunk, branches, leaves, and nuts, but must remember that below the earth, there is a huge root system as large as the tree itself. It's true, they spread out and then they have a deep taproot. The roots feed and sustain the living tree, bringing water and nutrients from the deep within Mother Earth. The roots can be related to our spirituality hidden from the physical sight, like the roots of the tree. Our spirits form a basis for our physical life and well-being. And this is Rowan Morgana. It's true. And isn't it interesting that when you think of roots, they grow in the dark, but they generate a light. So I kind of really dig this. And then here is Acorn Magic at the Witch of the Forest. Who'd have thought? I love the little crowns. Acorns are a symbol of new life, fertility, abundance, strength, prosperity, and protection. Now, I just don't find it coincidental that, I moved from an area that I lived in for nearly 2 decades to an area that, wow, I mean, it's like walking right into a room full of treasures. Right there, all around me. The acorn or oak nut is the nut of the oak tree and its closest relatives. Acorns will, with rose quartz, I think that cornelian and jasper, place in your window to attract prosperity and luck. I can hear someone saying, I think Steiger's going to make sure that every windowsill is filled. Hey, why not? Carrying an acorn to banish loneliness. Wear an amulet around your neck for protection. I could see that. Put in your car to ward off getting lost. I like that. Identify your true love by labeling 2 acorn caps with your name and the name of the person you're interested in. Float them in a bowl of water. If they drift together, you've made a successful match. If they float apart, your match would be unsuccessful. I love this. Acorns work well in healing spells, carry one for good health, longevity, and youth. Dun, 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 dun. I got lots of them. Anyway, use an acorn as a charm to bring back a lover associated with fire, water, and the sun. Acorns, again, are a new life. Yeah, fertility. I love this. So, attributes: perseverance, hard work, patience, wisdom, luck, fertility, strength. Associations: water, Jupiter, and Mars. By the way, I have no light pollution where I live. And holy crap, I mean, Mars, Jupiter, I mean, they're all freaking just really beautiful. Lightning, midsummer, and Yule. We're about to go into the Yule season. Latin name is Corcus. Use an acorn or 2 as a charm for wealth or luck. Let them bathe in the moonlight to change their energies. Walking on sunshine. There we go. So thank you, Jackie. That is just so cool. I appreciate that. Is that just cool? I mean, I just got to tell you, it just, now that I'm back here. So I hope that helped. I mean, wow. I mean, that's how we do it here. We just share. And, regardless of your point of view, to some, that is hope. To others, it may be, of no use. But for me, the way I look at it, it's much like the title of today's talking point: Get together, all ye ghosts of the future past. That's the past talking to us. And if there's one thing I know about faith, doesn't matter what it is that faith is applied to, it will manifest. So, hey, Isby, what's up? Bebop, hello, good to see you. Jackie again. Hugs right back at you, darling. That was just, Scotty boys, that's just how the acorn rolls. Going to do it, and I'm going to enjoy it. So, genetically modified, you bet. Wayne, old snow tires were impregnated with walnut pieces for traction. I did not know that. But I could see that. Yeah. Amazing the world we live in. That's all I got to tell you. So, I'll be doing this because, hey, all faith is ever present. In fact, I believe, as it is quoted, faith is now. Faith, believing in the evidence not seen, that which will materialize, calling those things that be not as though they are. It's amazing how you get into all this stuff, and you go through life and you go, I saw that principle you used here. Now, it may be different wording, but it's the same principle. So, hey, listen, no matter how south this corrupt economy system is, which is a debt system, which totally sucks. Paul Joe says, we live on 3 acres surrounded by forests, service and timber holding thousands of acres of pine for some oak, aspens. Amazing. But anyway, it's a debt system. I mean, how messed up is that? I just, this is what brilliant minds think of for an economy, that it's predicated on debt, meaning slavery, enslavement, lack, yeah. So allow me as I head over here for a second. So as he pulls that up. Now, this picture is a artist's rendition of, as he comes back over here. Where are you, dude? Right here, man. So let's go right here. So this is the future. We get so hung up here on planet Earth, with everyone thinking this is the end of the age and, the Armageddon thing and yada, yada, yada. But this is a reality that, well, if you believe that you are eternal, you will witness. I guess if you're in this realm, you may be in another realm. But in this realm, this is going to happen. This is the Milky Way and the Andromeda system galaxies colliding. It's going to be quite a view from Earth. But no matter who's on Earth, if they're watching this, they're dead. They're dead. No place that you can run, no place you can hide. Your ass is grass. It's a fact. And I often wonder in these huge forces at work here, because there are going to be trillions of, well, if life exists on other planets, it's a very bad day for those who are in the way. And not only will Earth be impacted, most likely extremely negatively, we may be rearranged. But if there are other planets out there that are dealing, I truly hope that they are smarter than us. I don't know. Who's to say? But the end result, and there's great animations out there. You can go on YouTube and there are phenomenal animations of what, billions of years and then what this collision will be like. And it's a slow moving catastrophe, planets, stars. I mean, it's just dogs and cats sleeping together. I mean, it's just Armageddon, folks, everywhere. And I wonder if those living on these other planets have similar stories that talk about a day when all of this will go away. And again, we know, and if the legends are true, they say that Earth was not part of this system that we're in. We were a part of a different system, and this star came along and threw the whole thing out of whack. Actually, it was that red dwarf about 70,000 years ago, or so they say, about the same time that man learned how to speak. What's that about? But anyway, I digress. So my point being that this is going to happen. And that's the future. We can already see the future as he exits out. And so, ghost. We're all ghost here. I love reading the comments, and I will say this. Someone said, well, you don't seem to center in on anything. Do you believe in anything? I believe in a lot. I just question it all. And if there is, in fact, this superior being, which there's no evidence that there is such, some call it source, some call it an energy, a force, I don't know. But if there is this thing called creator, then I have to be the apple of its eye because I question everything. And if there is such a thing as a God, a single God, a omnipotent God, a supreme God, I don't believe it wants worshipers. I don't believe it uses punishment as a learning tool. I don't believe that it is one that inflicts pain. No. But I do believe it is one that, if it has emotions, would be extremely pleased that that which it thought of questions everything. Folks, for 50 years, y'all know the story. I was sprouting a ideology that, as it turned out, was basically 99.9% bullshit. And the 0.1% has been so polluted, diluted, fractured, that I'm not sure anyone really has the answer. But if you're convinced that you do, a little warning. You see, when you settle into something that says that's absolute, you've become a closed mind. I don't think there's anything really absolute. I'm not even sure death is absolute. But I digress. I love this when people get out here and get in the comments, because that's what we do. Hello, David, how are you? But it's true. Think about it. Because I don't know. I mean, we had a conversation recently that it apparently really freaked the person out. And it was a reminder to me that, wow, a lot of minds are not ready for such. Confrontation is not the right word. I don't even know if revelation is the right word. You talk about the rhema of the logos. In other words, it brings light to the word. I have to remind myself that the group that meets here each day, oh, there's my number 29. Thanks for hitting up. And 55. There you go. This is a very advanced group. It's a core group here. And we were able to be as nimble as a reed. We're as sturdy as the oak tree, but we can bend, we can move. But not everybody is there. And I really, it taught me a good lesson, because, isn't the proverb so true? With great wisdom comes great sorrow. I think I can dig that. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Hello, Robin, how are you? Blue oyster cult burning for you. Yeah. Like that, a closed mind has no room to grow, and it's true. So here we all sit, and with all the things that are going on, as changes come, which these were all, apparently in my DNA that have come to pass, but a lot of it was spoken. I mean, when you say that today is better than yesterday and that the best of things are still on their way, I mean, according to thy words, let it be so, right? Hey, Elderberry, good to see you. Susie Q, Divine Empress, hello, B. Well, thank you. Thank you. How that makes me blush. Thank you very much. That when new possibilities arise, then you got to give it serious thought. And again, I found out what you can do to, excuse me, a mind that's not ready. And particularly when you start laying out before them question upon a question upon question, you know what happens? This is for someone else out there. They become afraid of you because you don't think like all the rest of what their reality is. As Trina and I were talking yesterday, the antivirus, you are the antithesis to everything that they hold near and dear. It is their core. And when you come along with a certain version of light, well, I have a flashlight that'll start a fire. So light can be both good and it can also burn, right? It was a good lesson. But it can't stop the process of thinking, all right, ghost. Lots of, I have some things I want to share with you on this one. I did this, oh, good gracious, I guess, what, 5 years ago, maybe? This was a scene, as I understand it, right off in the Carolina Appalachian Mountains. And there's some pretty hairy turns up there, as there was in Colorado. So this is a news crew that has arrived on the scene, merely taking pictures of the paramedics. As you can see, this is a level 1 trauma. They have removed, I believe, the roof of the car, trying to save the occupants. And as I go through each frame, you can see the officer, paramedics, watching this situation. But as you begin to see that red circle, the most interesting thing starts to happen. And I'll get a closer view on this, but I'm just taking it frame by frame so that you can see what's happening. So obviously one of the occupants has expired, transcended, or in the process of transcending. And you can see what happened here. They hit that wall of that mountain, apparently head on. But if you begin to see, this is the apparition right here. Now, it's interesting as this progresses forward because there's a number of things happening here. This case appears that whoever this spirit being person was, are we witnessing their soul? Are we witnessing the spirit? But what we do know, this one is clothed in a robe. And you will see how it begins to raise its hands as if in praise, thanksgiving. You could put a number of things. They're trying to resuscitate her body. It's, as I understand it, was a female, but she's witnessing them doing everything. And the transition only lasted for a second or two when she was looking at her body and the paramedics trying to rescue her. And as you can see, then she lifts up out of frame and begins to rise. As she's raising, you can begin to see that she fades away. Her essence of what is her essence is either transmuted into another form, and then this is just merely inverting the light, reversing it back. And as you can see, the hands are coming down. You can, and look at here. So there is obviously a covering even within the framework of our spirits. There is a light. And, you know, depending on your point of view, this is the divine spark. it's amazing because it's been captured so many times. And as I reverse it back, now maybe at this point she's becoming aware of the situation of how bad. Now here it is. So did she get wings here? Is this what we're seeing? Very odd, is it not? So kind of curious as to what y'all may think about this. Give me 1 second. Just something to think about. So I have others that show basically they're balls of light. And as the light seems to, I don't know, condense, it's really amazing because then they take on form as well. And it gives you the thought that we're bipedal in our physical form, but it appears very evident that we're also bipedal in the ethereal form. Now, you can say that, orbs or lights. Yeah, maybe that's when someone's advanced enough to realize they don't need that residual image, that they are in fact very comfortable as a sphere. I don't know. Someone says machine effects working on our machine. Yeah. So it's interesting. What's your thoughts? Again. And then, you see this essence of this transformation taking place. So are we seeing a ghost? Are we seeing, why can't we see with our eyes the supernatural, but only with camera? Because a camera is not limited to the light spectrum. We are. As amazing as it is, they have shown that our brains in collecting our reality, there's this delay, 15 milliseconds or something, that we're never living in the moment. Because by the time our brain collects enough data to put us into this space-time, we're living in the past. I mean, and again, all of us, Joyce Marie, Lost Space, Suzanne, Deborah, David, I mean, all of us, John, we're all ghosts. We've already died. If the future is the future, then in that future, 100 years from now, we will be but a specter that was here. They say that the big deal is in being remembered. I mean, if you're remembered 1,000 years into the future, they say that's a big deal. I don't know. Divine Empress says I put the disco back in disconnecting from reality. I loved it, disco. I just got to be candid with you. It was a great time. Had a lot of great sex, a lot of great, anyway, it was good cardio too. There was no doubt about it. I mean, that's all we got to say. Ghost. All right, that's all I got to say. The early night visions and goggles used the last time during the. Oh yeah, and it's interesting with my. These are great infrared goggles I have. Holy crap! I mean, the stars, and there's stuff up there that floats by, and and you're going, no one's going to believe this, but. See, what was that, Suzanne? Ozzy Osbourne has a recent song, "We're All Under the Graveyard," something like that. Yeah. I mean, think about it. I think if I could understand Ozzy, I think I'd love to find out, what, and it's the thing, as you progress in this life, the inevitable is always there and it's coming. It's coming. But then again, in a book, and I think I actually did a couple of videos on this, and this one is really a good one to have in your library because it really will show you this one right here, The Gray Aliens and the Harvesting of Souls. The book is basically about the conspiracy of the geneticists and how they've tampered with us. And we seem to be in this petri dish. It's all over. The evidence is everywhere. They say, though, that when we, meaning you and I guess, when we become aware of the mere possibility that this could be reality, it pisses these other beings off. They would much rather have us as part of the program than being it. But as you read this book, and again, with everything that we've covered on this channel over the many years, we know that there is correlation between all of this. Thinking on this question, all right, Steiger, you're a ghost. I'm a spirit being that 40 years from now, and unless there's a different option that I become aware of, I won't be here anymore. Good question. So it says, if I'm a ghost too, then why should I be afraid of a ghost? Isn't that the weirdest thing? Maybe Joe, we're living in a looper type reality. I mean, is time travel available for a ghost, for a spirit? Can a spirit go back in time? Could I go back and, well, I wouldn't say haunt myself, but could I come back and appear to myself as a ghost? Because if I'm in the spirit realm, well, that shows that there's laws then. I mean, that's a weird thing. But getting back to the point, why are we afraid of ghosts? And if these monsters, which we all create, we either recreate or they've been shown to us as a species, then that means we're not alone even close. Again, it shows that as a species, what the hell's going on here? Because again, if vampires actually exist, if these creatures, and which there are apparently some really ugly ones. I've seen some ugly ones. I told you what the one told me. It looked at me and said, "You're about the ugliest thing I've ever come across." And he'd been in a lot of different realms. And I said, "Well, at least you and I can agree on something. We're both ugly." I mean, if that's how you're going to take the attitude is, I mean, maybe there's a certain beauty with, having, 6 different eyes, or tentacles coming out of, whatever. But yeah. And then you have to ask yourself, how would a ghost really look? There's some weird stuff that we've caught on tape, on cameras that, I mean, these beings exist. And the ones that I always find interesting are the ones that are crawling upside down, and they'll just get this portion of their head to be captured, And they have this weirdest thing. It's like, there was a show, one of the Star Trek variants, Deep Space Nine, and which Yodo, the security officer, he was a changeling. How many of you watched that? And if you remember how they did his makeup, that the facial features, it's one of those things that they're not really distinct, but it's not completely blurry. You know, it's not like watching a person grow old where their face suddenly starts dropping like cottage cheese, you know, or you know, you understand, they just start melting. Yeah, those are the strange ones that I find that are really interesting. And then I'm thinking, well, does looks have anything to do with the afterlife as well? I don't know. Does Elvis still look like Elvis? I don't know. That's right, Gary. That's a fact. Yeah. Paul Joe says, I'm not afraid of ghosts, but when my mother-in-law shows up, it's a different. Well, the moral to that story is don't piss her off, right? Or if you have, try to make amends on that. And then we get into this whole thing. Are we the ghost of our past? Because something ain't right here. If this reincarnation thing is, so then what am I absolutely going to be showing? Is it this life? I mean, what? And why does a ghost who died in, let's say, the late 17th century, when they're captured and appear, what's up with, I mean, don't they keep up with the fashion? I mean, they look exactly like it was when they died. So how does the reincarnation thing work on that? I mean, what? Do I happen to say, hey, I really dig this one right here? Yeah, this is me, man. I mean, I saw all the great bands. I mean, come on, you know, is that what I'm saying to whatever? And so am I going to keep this inner image, this inner self-reflection? I mean, does that go through eternity? But then if reincarnation and I come back in through the system, then what the hell am I showing? I mean, how can you conjure a ghost, a person who died 1,000 years ago? Certainly blows the hell out of the whole reincarnation theory, doesn't it? I mean, how is that possible? And then, well, you think about this thing, purgatory, then Jonathan, that says that the fake religion of Catholicism has some basis in reality. Catholicism is merely, as we all know, we've studied it enough here, but purgatory, I mean, again, it gets back to my comment the other day, is like, what God would think of this? What intelligence? I mean, if things are really this screwed up, then it's the one responsible for it. Why is it that I had someone write me recently trying to justify all the murders that the God of the Bible committed? And I wrote to the person, I said, are you out of your fucking mind? Do you realize what you just wrote here? You wrote the justification of a mass murder and said that it's, depending in your context, it's somehow holy. Come on. I mean, if this is messed up, it's not because of us. We're merely in the washing machine. I want the one who fucked this up to come up, grow a set of whatever, and admit that it's screwed up. And stop blaming everyone else and inflicting this psycho crap on us that, you know, heaven, hell, going to be weighed for your deeds. You know what? So you have a person who goes through life, gets drafted, put into a war situation, kills another innocent human being, but it's because it's allowed because of why? Oh, well, that's different. Says who? Us? Well, I guess that's why we make the excuses we do. I mean, it just, you start questioning this and you're going, wait a minute. I mean, like in, a Three Stooges scene, that has the Marx Brothers writing the script. I mean, it's, you got to laugh at it because no intelligent creature, and someone wrote to me and says, well, Steiger, you're taking the position of trying to see something that is above your ability. Okay, but don't I have a responsibility to use that which I have, those cognitive senses that I have developed? If I merely shuck this off and allow it to simply go with the script that everybody else is reading from, well, then I'm complicit in a crime. It's a crime against our species. And that pisses me off. Papa says the gods must be crazy. It's true as that goddamn Coke bottle coming back. I mean, yeah, love the essence inside of it, but now the damn thing is, a weapon. Folks, I mean, this is why we come here. We got to stop this insanity. And this person really did. Showed me a book and the whole bit. And, I after, as I said, you're out of your freaking mind. But I said, I can't sit here and say that, gee, I was a part of that myself. And I was decades making excuses for a murderous deity that I was somehow on my knees, raised hands praying to. Oh God, if you look over here, I really need this, but man, I just got to confess my sins to you. I'm sorry, I keep fucking up. You see, and I'm sorry I even use that word. I mean, I'm just a mess, and I just plead the blood of Jesus on me because, I'm a sinner saved by grace. What the hell? I mean, if that isn't a psych job that puts a person into a neurosis, that a psychosis that cannot be reversed. Well, I guess it can because I got the hell out of it, but it came at a great price. That's all I got to say because I was there and, I dig it. Man, justifying crimes that if any human would do, you would be put to death, put in prison, made to suffer. But we give that thing a free pass. Maybe that's why we're so screwed up in this thing. And then I wonder about these ghosts. Okay, we're all ghosts. We're all going to die. Do we suddenly get this bolt of sudden knowledge, all wisdom? Don't appear to be. It appears that, if you don't figure it out here, Jack, you don't start getting some of this, taken care of. Holy crapola. You're going to go to the Slice-O-Matic 2000 because they're going to slice, dice, and craft your ass in every way that they can. And you're going to be spinning around going, mama, mama. And if there's this spiritual war going on, that, that apparently as a ghost, I don't know, what, do they take a time out? Excuse me, I want to go make a manifestation, please. I mean, what? How does that work out? Because apparently, if this spiritual battle against these two egotistical, narcissistic dudes because the chicks are absent. See, I'm going where the chicks are at. I just got to tell you right now. I found the dudes to be messed up, man. They don't listen. They got this whole thing. And so, I'm just telling you right now. But anyway, that there's this endless war going on that somehow or another we got thrown into because we're supposed to make a decision based upon a concept or a precept that was taught to us. Who doesn't person teaching to us doesn't have a goddamn idea where it came from, but that's the truth because it was written in the book, because God said it. It's my word, and therefore God is perfect and there's no excuses. And I hear myself saying it now, and I'm going, dude, did you listen to yourself? I mean, how messed up can you be? Ay, 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 ay. Grace says it sounds like a month. It probably is. If they could have written the extension on that, right? Because I got to tell you what, this Holy Grail thing, I want no part of it. It's a fleece. That's all I got to say. Sometimes I crack myself up. That's all I got to say. Ay, 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 ay. All right. Talking about ghosts. There we go. I want to go where the bands are. They're up there too. I mean, I got to say this. I think about John Lennon, and his conversation that he would have, with the perceived God of this construct. And here's John. Well, dude, all you need is a little love. And then starting to sit in, because that's what John Lennon was about. That's the protest. I think that as humanity, we need to start a protest, not against us, but against these so-called gods that have just been messing with us. I mean, they messed with our DNA. And, I was recently, the bronze books. Wow. Going back here, and I'm reading this, and it's like reading the chapter and verse of other books. But this one tells a different story. And it tells of a story that we really are either one or two things. We're either just a mistake, an experiment, and we're being subjective to stimuli to see what we do with it. And if history's any lesson at all, we do very little. I mean, you think about 2,000 years ago, they had the Colosseum games. We have those today. Oh, people say, well, we don't fight to the death. Oh, really? What do you mean by that? I can show you many of them that have died in the arena. But we're civilized. Okay. Not quite sure what civilized means. Those who think on these things, in different levels of society say that we're not even a one yet. Now that I can probably hitch my horse up to. Yeah, because the evidence is overwhelming. We are really immature. Here's the thing. I listened to some of the radio stations around here, and one of them says that, and I'm not mocking, I'm just simply for, discussion purposes, says that, well, Jesus still considers you his lost child. Welcome home. And I told Lynn, I turned it down and I said, now, isn't that odd? I said, think about what's being said here. You have this Savior that looks at us as children. And she goes, yeah. I said, but yet it's God judges us as adults. So which is it? I have to be as a little child to enter into the gates of heaven. But you shall be held accountable for every word that you have uttered. How? I mean, you're putting that on a kid? That kid ain't going to grow up to be, he's not going to be right in the head. And it's odd because we somehow think that we're these highly developed, highly enlightened spiritual beings, but yet by the very books that we write, we call ourselves children. I just find that to be contradictory. Unless you're telling me that the afterlife, we all have multiple personality disorder. I don't know. Maybe I am the profane and the purified. Maybe I'm the virgin and the whore at the same time. I don't know, because that's how it reads. That's how the script reads, right? Just reading some comments. Yeah, it's messed up, man. That's all I got to tell you. And I didn't even get into the other material. I'll pick it up tomorrow on this, but because it doesn't stop there. It doesn't. I mean, again, we'll have to do a part 2 of this, because if we believe in the future, and there's a lot of people believing in one kind of future, which is not good for the rest of us, because we're saying, I don't want any part of that future. Time out. I want to get the freak off at this bus. I want to go over and get on that bus. You know, I don't like this bus, this, as Ozzy would say, this crazy train. And I don't like the conductor. I don't like the people that are running the engine. I certainly don't like the staff. I don't like the rules. I don't like the place. I don't like anything about it. And quit trying to harness me on your mistakes by trying to lay upon me this guilt trip. No. If there's a guilt trip, keep it yourself. I don't need it. I carried that millstone around my neck for way too many decades. And it doesn't do anything but weigh you down, man. Gal. Scotty says, got my crash helmet on. We all need to do that. It's true. I mean, it just jacks with you. And I'm tired of our species being jacked with. It's like, hey, we demand some respect. And tired of the bullshit that has been thrown down, forced down our spiritual gullets. No. Okay. Grace says, we are screwed in this afterlife, and it's going to continue. We've been screwed over. You know what, Grace? And it's time, and there has to be others over there. If our friend Brian and Carla and Barbara, there's just so many. Jerry. No, man. I it's hard for me to accept that the preciousness of those souls are back into that they're white, that they don't remember us. We remember them. And I can't help but them not saying, I mean, they had, whether we have a small spark or we have a freaking lightning bolt, there's got to be others of us. Others who you and I haven't even no idea exist, but yet we're the same bloodline, the thought line. Folks, there has to be an alternative, because if this is just a repeating, broken record, I can't accept that. I won't accept that. Well, here goes the hour. Where'd the hour go to? I mean, it's like I just started this. So I will keep on this because there's got to be an alternative. There's got to be. So I'm putting the acorns all the freak around my window sills. That's all I got to say. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I love the comments. I'll go back and read them some more. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Don't get to see you, but I feel your energy. And yeah, I think we're going to do this. We may be small in the whole big scheme of things, but I know this. The proverb says, the smallest rule the largest. Okay, I can dig that. I mean, if all of this were to combine ourselves into a central focal point of energy, yeah, I could dig that. Together, we're a force. Individually, we're a power. Yeah, I kind of dig that. All right. Thank you, Off the Hook. Appreciate it. Hammer time. So much love to y'all. Thank you. See you tomorrow. We're going to pick right back up on this. I mean, we haven't even begun to talk about it. If we're ghost, then we need to have a game plan. I mean, if that's our eventuality, we need to have a game plan. And I think if we built one together, who knows? Maybe we carry a piece of that over when we pass over and we go, hey, and another person has that. So dynamite comes in small packages. Ain't that the truth? Absolutely. All right, folks. Much love to you. See you tomorrow. Oh, this has been fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.